Bubble by BAND-MAID. Why on earth am I doing a reaction, given that I'm already a BAND-MAID fan? Why am I doing a reaction to this old song, you might ask? Well, I'm not, as you probably guessed if you already clicked on this video. I'm doing a reaction to my initial reaction. Look at that happy smiling face. I was a bit fatter back then. Not that much difference. I'm doing a reaction to my first reaction to this, which was in February the 5th, 2019. So nearly 6 years ago. And this one's a particularly interesting one for me because, as you guys might know, I think it was in 2021, after having reacted to every single BAND-MAID song at the time, we decided to do a sit-down, all-night marathon where we listened to every single BAND-MAID song, including all the B-sides and everything, checked that we got them all down, did notes about them all, listened to them as a community, and then I did a top 25 list of my favourite BAND-MAID songs, and Bubble actually ended up as my number one. I might revisit that list, might redo it, and we'll see if Bubble ends up there. Still, several years later, almost half a decade since... oh no, more like 4 years. But still, it's a good few years since we did that list. So we might go back and revisit that at some point. But Bubble is a song that means a lot to me. It's a song I really enjoy. And I thought it would be interesting for me to go back and check it out. It's a terrible first frame. The intriguing thing about this, though, is that we're going to be listening through it. And unlike usually where we just listen through and I give my thoughts afterwards, I'm probably going to pause this video as we go and maybe reply to certain things I say in the video. We could call them excuses if you like. But I'm just kind of intrigued to see what I thought at the time, give my feedback on it, and see if I still feel the same. Because at the time, I don't remember thinking, wow, this song really blows me away. I remember liking it, but I seem to remember I wasn't as blown away by it, but it really grew on me over time. So I'm intrigued to see what my first thoughts were and tell you what I now think of my reaction to Bubble after more than half a decade. Bloody hell. All right, anyway, let's get into it. This is my reaction to Bubble, and also we're going to be laughing at how different the channel was at the time. Because at this point, we started this channel in January of 2019, and we just come over from doing a radio show and everything that we had beforehand. This whole channel goes back to like a podcast that we started in 2011, I think. So this had been going on for years, but this was really at the dawn of us actually doing this on YouTube. So it was kind of intriguing to see. Anyway, let's jump into it. And like I say, I'll give my feedback on the things I say. Hopefully this goes well.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Japan. Today...
Wait a minute. Whilst I was away this weekend... Okay, assumedly that made sense at the time. I don't know. Where was I? I don't know.
I'm in a hotel. Check out the lovely hotel art in Obihiro in Hokkaido, in northern Japan. That's where I am. And yeah, today I'm going to be checking out Bubble, which is...
I should stop interrupting myself and just listen to what I have to say.
It's the new song/video by BAND-MAID, and a lot of people said, you know, check this out. So there are other BAND-MAID songs I'm going to do, but this is the first one I wanted to get into as it's fresh. Here we go. I have to reach forward because the computer's a long way from me in this room. Here is Bubble. Play.
There's a lot of background fuzz that you can hear there. I don't know how I was recording this. I probably didn't take the microphone with me if I went to Obihiro, so this was probably just recorded on the internal microphone inside the computer, which is probably why it sounds so terrible. Talking of new things, I can't open this new flask I've got. I'm trying to get the coffee out. See how I had editing in that video that you're just watching there, but I haven't got it here. I need my coffee, god damn it. Anyway, let's watch the video.
Money.
That is the correct response, however.
Louder than I thought it was going to be.
That's the volume. I'm just seeing the video now. I'm realizing how creepy it is looking at two of me looking at the video at the same time. So I'm just going to pause it quickly to respond. It's interesting because when I did the videos back then, I think I didn't really know how to do reaction videos back then, and I don't think there is a defined way. I think like some people like to stop videos and talk about them, and with exception to this video, I don't really like to do that, because if it's genuinely your first reaction, you can't really rate a song if you're stopping it, because you can't feel the flow, and the flow of a song is very important. But I remember back then I used to edit each video in a lot of depth, and so when I talked, I'd find that point, I'd have the music dip down and everything, so there's a lot of editing, and as a result, these took ages to do, which is one of the reasons I just went back to just doing them normally like everyone else. But I'm just sitting there nodding quietly.
There's always an international appeal to having those sort of whoa bits. Remember they always said that about the Offspring.
That's true, actually, isn't it? Like the millennial that. Do you know? I found that in a lot of Japanese songs subsequently. I'm a big fan, obviously, of Trident. Trident's a band who I've covered a lot subsequently. And I mean, at the time, Trident was still girls rock band Kakamai and were very much under the radar. I think we picked them up in 2019 as well. But yeah, they now, you go through their discography, you find a lot of whoa in their discography as well. So I think that whoa thing is quite common in Japanese rock. Still drinking. Oh. Wait, what did I say to? Wait, what? Oh, right. It's interesting because back then I wouldn't have known the names of members, I wouldn't have known anything about the connections, so a lot of the things you see in the video, you know, referencing the Bohemian Rhapsody movie, by the Queen Bohemian Rhapsody movie and various other things, I wouldn't have really got it. I wouldn't have known who the members were. It was just a case of like, okay, what's going on? They're holding hands. All right, fine.
It's nice and funky, that bit.
Agreed. There's actually one thing I've had to work on a lot with doing videos. I didn't realize when I first started doing reaction videos, but I have a natural resting bitch face, I think. When I'm just like listening to music, if you ever watch my Twitch streams, you probably notice this as well. I kind of got like I enjoy things very internally, and I didn't realize that I just look like an asshole. And I watched some of these videos back at the time, and I remember thinking, I don't look like I'm enjoying myself. So when I watch them back now, actually, I forgot about that. When I watch them back now, obviously enough time's passed that I'm like, wow, you got a bitchy face, Howard.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's still one of my favourite parts of the song. I love that track.
I like that sort of thing where they shift like the music underneath the chorus or a bit to give it more of like a crescendo.
I think when I said crescendo, I was talking about a crescendo specifically to the chorus. I think maybe that wasn't the right term to use there. But I do like the fact it does that, and moreover, I was speaking at the time, but I like the way that sort of rolls into the guitar solo. It's one of my favourite things there. The second chorus very much just leads into the solo so well. It's a nice smooth transition. That's like, again, one of those things that you almost kind of don't notice it's so smooth at the time, but then upon repeat listens, it's just the song's so fluid. And then when we get this change, which is about to come up, at first it's very jarring, but over time you end up seeing that as like, it's like this sort of built up energy dissipates. So I'm interested to see how I respond to the next bit. The next bit as well is the bit that has the slightly bizarre Psyche talking.
Hey, listen. After everything, you only see the surface. They are missing something very important. You should find out the truth with your own eyes. What you want.
I gotta say, I still don't know 100% what she actually says in that bit. This is like my favorite BAND-MAID song, and I still don't know 100% what she says in that bit because I never really thought it was huge. I think I've looked at it a couple of times before. It was never that notable. It was like, it's kind of like some general life advice stuff. But I don't know, I've never been a huge lyrics person unless the lyrics really hit me. And as much as I love Bubble, the lyrics never were the thing that I loved about it. They're kind of good. They're fine. I know I've read them before and thought, oh, that's cool, but it's not stuck with me the way the song has. But I love how much attention I'm putting into there. By the way, in case you're wondering about the fact that one of the headphones isn't on, when I first started doing these, I did them a little bit in the one-on, one-off way that you usually do when you're in studio. So you can hear the right-hand headphone, but you have it off so that when you're talking, you can hear your voice as well. But over time, I came to realize you don't really need to worry. If you're not singing, you just talk.
Yeah, no idea what you said.
Yeah. I could see myself thinking, which is interesting. I'm wondering what I was taking in so hard at that moment. I wonder what it was that I had to take in so hard.
That last scene reminded me a bit of the cover for the Bohemian Rhapsody movie where they got the actor with the anyway.
Funny thing is that I said that. I'm pretty sure. Now I might be wrong. But like me and my at the time girlfriend did actually here in Japan go and see Bohemian Rhapsody in the cinema. She really wanted to see it. I kind of wanted to see it as well, but I'd already been told that it was like massively inaccurate. And as someone who'd grown up with Queen, like always like on the radio, I was kind of a little bit disheartened to know how inaccurate it turned out to be. So I don't know. Did I see the movie before I did this? I can't remember, but anyway, it's interesting that I mentioned that.
That's nothing to do with what I should be talking about. What's that? The closing screen says, "You're a legend."
You're a legend. Guess I am.
Yeah, I'll be honest, that was a really good song, actually. Out of all the songs I've heard by them so far, that's definitely my favourite.
Interesting. I didn't realise that's how I felt at the time. I don't know how many songs I'd heard at the time, but interesting. I probably only heard like 4 or 5 songs at the time because I first heard them was like in the first couple of days of January 2019. So this was like a month later. So who knows how many I'd heard. Interesting that was definitely my favourite. I mean, this is what I mean though, is that back then I don't know why. I didn't really express it in front of the camera. It's not like I'd never been on camera before. I think it was something just about doing reaction videos. I don't know. I felt weird about... I don't know. You can't see any of my emotion on my expression. It's like, this is like the worst reaction ever. I don't believe in faking it or overreacting, but I think I was just much more... I don't know. I think I was just kind of more stoic about the whole thing.
I think despite what a lot of people maybe thought from my previous videos, I actually, really enjoying a lot of their songs, and this one was a really good example.
Was I giving a bad impression? What did people think? I mean, again, I can see probably why looking back at it, because again, this is just kind of me, I think I got used to the fact that when the camera's on, most of us have 2 modes. You're either just kind of like, you're just chilling out being yourself, just chatting, or you talk to the camera like it's a person. And I think a lot of the time when I was doing these videos at the time, I wasn't treating the camera like a person. I was just treating the camera like it was on, and I was just talking like it was just me. And, when I'm just kind of doing my own thing, I'm a pretty, I don't know, I don't feel the need to rant and rave a lot, but, when there's another person there, I'm kind of... So I guess now I'm more used to treating the camera like another person, I think. But yeah, I can understand why people probably thought I was a miserable bastard. Plus, it's the other thing is reactors, especially especially back then. Maybe not especially, but back then and now. But reactors in general tend to be positive, positive, positive. Whereas I more wanted to do this as reviewing, so I wouldn't always just be positive, positive, positive. I'd talk about the things I thought I'd prefer as well, and that might have rubbed people up the wrong way. But I'm intrigued, but I felt the need to qualify that.
Of what I liked about what I've heard, in that the musicianship was really clearly there, but and we were discussing that they're not really a metal band, they're a hard rock band, despite all of the sort of heavy things that are involved in.
Yeah, this was interesting. People have really the whole idea of metal and hard rock. I never really felt the need to define the difference growing up. Up until this age, plenty into my I was in my 30s. I'd never really been a thing. I was never big into. I've got such a derp face there, haven't I? I was never big into like pigeonholing genres. I was just kind of like, oh, it's roughly this, roughly that. And I think one of the things I did come across a lot since I started doing this channel was every time I talk about something and I'd just use a general genre, people would sometimes be very quick to point out, it's not that genre. Whereas for me, like, genres had never been something, I was never like, oh, I'm really into this genre. I just kind of like generally like music, and I'd be, oh, it's got a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I think, I probably had pointed out there were certain metal aspects of BAND-MAID songs, and maybe people had corrected me and said, no, they're more a hard rock band.
What they do. And I think a lot of the time, those sort of more bands who are leaning towards that metal side, they'll try and overdo the guitar twiddling, so like too much guitar solos, too many drum fills, too many things to make it sound like, we're really awesome. There was those little elements in here, but they were more well managed. They came in at the right place, and just a little bit here, a little bit there, just to accent things.
So talking about like the nuance, I think really the fact that there, and this is something I've held true to. I very much believe, talent should be something you feel in the nuance. It shouldn't be like shoved in your face. I very much agree with that. I think one of BAND-MAID's greatest qualities is that they can do absolutely amazing things and you don't necessarily notice it straight away. It's just there in the details. It's the thing that makes you come back to listen more rather than go, whoa! You more go, wow, that was really fulfilling. I want to go back and listen to that again. And it's those details of why.
The song was definitely, it was the first one I've heard by them that's actually catchy. Because previous songs I've heard by them have just not really been very catchy to my ear. But that one was catchy. It's funky. It had a lot of different bits to it as well. And this is something I really like in a good song. You've got like lots of different sections when it changes as it goes along.
I'd agree with that.
So, you'll have something which is a little bit more rhythmic, and then you go into a big catchy chorus, some bits that are more heavy and driving. The bridge was funny when I'm sure she was talking in English. I couldn't tell what she was saying. If you know, write it on here. Yeah, tell me what she was saying. I think there's some attempt to make this more appealing to a Western audience. I think now they've broken out, there is that emphasis on trying to sort of connect with foreign fans, because
I don't think that's the reason why she put English in there, if I'm honest with you, because if that's the reason why she put English in there, it would have been more clear and more audible. I think it was just put in there because that's like a sort of mysterious part of the song. Everything goes mysterious. And so, speaking in a second language, dare I even say that, just speaking in English, because it's almost used as the backup, interesting, mysterious language to throw in. I think that's what it was. So I don't think that was an attempt to fan appeal. I do agree with what I said there. I think I love this song partly because it has so many sections that, again, it moves so fluidly between. It does a lot with what's there. It's not just verse, chorus. They manipulate the chorus. They have different. Each time the chorus comes around, it is different. First time it's just a chorus. Second time it leads into, sort of rolls through that second segment into the solo. Third time you get that alternate final melody, which is the genuine crescendo. I feel it's got all those different segments. That is very true. And yes, it is. It's a catchy song, especially that last bit. It's very, very catchy. So, which is not common for BAND-MAID songs. Keep on saying it. BAND-MAID do not do catchy as much as other bands. It's one of the reasons why, and that's not a bad thing. Some bands, that's not their thing. They have got some catchy songs, but it's not their raison d'etre. I think that's the right French verb. See, now I'm using foreign languages to sound cool.
Because having the word in the chorus. I mean,
True.
yeah, I'm sure that was just something they wrote into the song, but consciously that would have been something where, you know, like the executive producer or something would have been really happy about that, because that just works. You know, you go to a foreign country where, you know, maybe people can't sing along with you at shows. Everyone loves a whoa whoa song.
Interesting. I don't. I think the more I know about BAND-MAID now, I mean, I said at the time the executive producer would have been happy about that. Yeah. So by executive producer, that's basically, you know, as a general, the record company when they're like going through and they're talking about what songs are going to be singles and stuff. Yeah, a lot of the time you're looking for a song that's going to have mass appeal, and if a song's got a whoa 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 in it, it's going to make it. You're going to hear it as being, yeah, people sing along to that live and things. So yeah, it's going to have more appeal. But again, I think that's just a thing. Not really worth making a point out of.
And this is what I was saying earlier. You know, this is something that they commented a lot about with the Offspring. Like every Offspring song for a while had whoa, something like that in it.
That was true, actually. I remember hearing back in the day that one of the main reasons why the Offspring did so well in the 90s was because they could play their songs in any country. And it's like, everyone's going, whoa!
Yeah, so that was really good. I enjoyed that. I thought it was really nice. The video, again, the video, like the first one I saw, which was Real Existence, the video was just kind of superfluous to requirement. It just kind of didn't seem to do anything.
I think the term of phrase there was a little bit harsh, superfluous to requirement. I don't think that's fair. I think it is just kind of... It's not one of those videos that I feel excited to go back to. I'll be honest with you. It's just very much a kind of video for me. And I agree, it's the same with Real Existence. And I've subsequently talked a lot about BAND-MAID videos. In fact, I did a video a few years ago, again, talking about the best and worst BAND-MAID videos. And, you know, I know that one director does almost all of their music videos. And I didn't realize until I looked this up that almost all my favorite BAND-MAID videos are the ones not done by that director. And it's not because he's bad, it's just because all of his videos have a very similar, kind of very functional workman-like feel to them. And so I think I said that in a very harsh way here, if I'm honest with you. But I think the point I was getting at was probably true, that like a lot of the band, I guess the way I would word it now, and especially with retrospective hindsight, is that a lot of the BAND-MAID videos, I can take them or leave them. You know, the ones done by that director, they're kind of there, but they don't feel like, oh, I want to go back and watch that because it adds something to the song. But neither do they detract from the song. They're just kind of like very, you know, they are. So I think, although that was probably an unfairly harsh way of wording it at the time, I think that the point I was getting at was probably fair. And I probably didn't realize how much that was true until I'd seen all the BAND-MAID videos. But superfluous to requirement, more just kind of like functional but unexciting. A lot of my favorite, in case you don't know, a lot of my favorite BAND-MAID videos include stuff like Domination, Afterlife, Unleash. These are videos that, and I'm not just being harsh, I didn't realize until after I researched this for that thing I did talking about my favorite and least favorite BAND-MAID videos, I suddenly realized that these were almost all my favorites were done by directors who were not the director who does most of them.
But, you know, that's not always a bad thing. I mean, a good performance video is a good thing. There were some funny bits, like I think I'm maybe a bit too far from the screen to tell this, but I think it was the bass player who was lying on her back.
Yes, it was
playing.
the moment, yeah.
And I think anyone who's ever been a guitarist or a bassist will know that feeling. You know, just sometimes you wake up and you're like, I can't remember to get out of bed, but I will get the guitar.
That's so true. That's so true.
Yeah,
I'm so right.
We all know that feeling.
We did.
So, yeah, there were some nice things in there, but basically the video I don't think really added anything. It just kind of was. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that 100%.
Credit to just being a really good song. It's about all I have to say about that. The next video I'm going to be doing on BAND-MAID will be reacting to at least one of the songs when I was asking you guys to find something more experimental of this. This was not experimental, but I think this was definitely an example of the kind of good quality pop rock song I wanted to hear from them.
How many people did I piss off by saying good quality pop rock? Oh, Howard. Courting the hatred there, weren't we?
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm not feeling very well. That's why I'm drinking lots of water.
Oh, okay. Come up with the excuse late in the video, why don't you?
Look, she's smiling. She's happy.
That was from the hotel, wasn't it?
I'm sure wherever you are in the world, you can't get BBH. Oh, hotel group.
Yeah, that looks like that was like the free water from the hotel. I know which hotel I was staying in because it's the hotel that I often use when I'm in Obihiro. Nice hotel. The Grand Terrace Hotel. If you ever go to Obihiro, it's a good hotel to stay in. There's like a billion. I did a video about Obihiro on my main channel, Back Broadcast. If you ever go and check that out, I actually do a bit where I'm standing outside the station. I'll show you how many hotels you can see from the station, and it's just like insane. So there's plenty of good hotels in Obihiro. Don't know why you go to Obihiro, but if you ever go to Obihiro, love Obihiro.
Oh, so it actually is. It's made by the hotel company. So unless you come and stay here, that wasn't an advert.
Where are you going with this? Well, at least
Anyway,
I'm still drinking my
have a lovely time. I'll see you in Japan again soon, and ciao ciao for now.
And then we had the old closed down frame at the end there. Oh man, the old videos. That was my first ever reaction, real existence. That was me and Bubbles doing a reaction to a Japanese cover of Pretty Fly for a White Guy. I think I must have linked that here because I was talking about the offspring in this one. And then Bubble. Yeah, so there you go. That was my this was my cheerful face. There you go. That's my reaction to Bubble. Me going back and checking it out. I'll be honest with you, actually. I was expecting this to be much more cringe. I think that most of the points I made then, I would hold true to now. It's interesting how perspective adds. This is definitely a song that, obviously I liked it when I first heard it, but it's grown on me more and more. And I think it's a case of the way the song flows. Songs that flow very well, sometimes you have to listen to them over and over again to realize just how much they settle into your brain. But I did pick up on some of those points at first. I picked up on how there was all the changes. I did pick up on the fact that it drills into your head. It's quite a memorable, catchy song, which is not something that BAND-MAID often lean towards. Quality is always there, but that's not something they often lean towards, and this song has that as well. It seems to have all of the best qualities. It has the nuance, has all those things, and I pointed that out, I think, in the video. So it's interesting, actually. I feel like my reaction's pretty much spot on. I stick by it. It's interesting more seeing how just what a miserable face I have in this reaction. Very red as well. I didn't have color correction because I was using the old SLR when I recorded these. It took ages to do these because I'd record the microphone would be, well, what microphone I was using. I'd record the audio on the computer, then I'd record the video, then I'd have to take the SD card out, plug it into the computer, download the video, put the video and the audio together, time them so they matched. Then I'd have to find all the bits I was speaking and put the volume dip in. A lot of work went into it. Now I put no effort in at all, but at least hopefully I am better at doing this. Anyway, look, I hope you enjoyed this little trip down memory lane. Thank you so much. It's nearly half an hour long, this video, but this would be a bit of fun. If you enjoyed it, let me know. Get in the comments. Tell me what you think. Tell me what your favourite BAND-MAID song is. Tell me if you want to go back and redo the top 25. Maybe we'll do the marathon again and listen to all the songs in a row again. And until I hopefully do see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. For now. Don't know why I did it so many times. Ciao, ciao.